Alright, so I get asked this question a lot in the comments. What's the difference between the HD Fury 4K Diva, the VROOM, and the VERTEX? And which one is best for your setup? For those of you not familiar with HD Fury products, HD Fury makes HDMI switchers, digital analog converters, EDID solutions, HDR to SDR converters, HDCP converters, and award-winning Ultra HD scalers, all with their own unique capabilities and common base of shared features. For instance, the Maestro is a solution for 4K HDR over HD-Base-T. The Diva features an all-in-one HDR to SDR converter. The VROOM features HDMI 2.1 support and the only device in the lineup of HD Fury products that supports 48 gigabits per second. And then you have the VERTEX 2, which offers dual 18 gigabits per second output with an exclusive 5-volt control by software. But one of the most sought after features that most HD Fury products provide is adding Dolby Vision support to any HDR10 display by way of low latency Dolby Vision. And I have multiple videos on my channel discussing what low latency Dolby Vision is and how it works. But just as a recap, let's say you have a projector or TV with HDR10 but no Dolby Vision, but all of your other components support Dolby Vision. So your receiver, your Apple TV 4K, your Apple 4K Blu-ray player, and an Xbox Series X. Now, obviously the weak link in your system is going to be your projector. And just as a side note, there is no projector in the world certified for Dolby Vision. And this is because Dolby has specific net level requirements for a display to be licensed to support Dolby Vision. And projectors, because of how they're designed and how they work, unfortunately don't and can't meet the same net levels that TVs can. So Dolby will not approve projectors to be licensed for Dolby Vision, at least not yet. So then the issue becomes, I've spent thousands of dollars and invested in all this equipment to get the best picture possible. How do I get Dolby Vision on a non-Dolby Vision display? In this case, a projector. And that's where HD Fury products come in. For example, take the HD Fury 4K Diva, which I personally own. The 4K Diva has a web address and a web interface that I can log into and select any number of low latency Dolby Vision EDID presets that I can apply to work with my projector to get Dolby Vision. But what is low latency Dolby Vision? Again, I have full-length videos on this, but for the sake of this video, I'll explain it again. Now, there are two types of Dolby Vision. There's the full version of Dolby Vision, which supports 12-bit color, and the dynamic tone mapping, which is done by the TV's onboard processing. Unlike Dolby Vision, low latency Dolby Vision does not support full bandwidth, and the tone mapping is done on the player. So your Apple TV, your 4K Blu-ray player, or an Xbox Series X. And the way that low latency Dolby Vision works is, it takes the Dolby Vision signal and processes it on the player, and then basically sends it back to your projector in a format that it can decode. In this case, HDR10, or HDR10 Plus if your projector supports that. So, Dolby Vision full version tone mapping is done on the TV, and low latency Dolby Vision tone mapping is done on the player. So in the case with my projector, even though it only supports HDR10, the Dolby Vision signal is still getting tone mapped before it gets sent to my projector, but it's getting sent in an HDR10 container. Hey, what's up? You've made it this far in the video, so welcome to the channel and thank you for watching. If this is your first time visiting the channel and you're enjoying the content that I produce here, why don't you go ahead and do me a solid, hit the subscribe button, let your friends know about the channel, and hit the bell notification so you know when I post new content. And if you're enjoying this video, why don't you go ahead and hit the like button. It'll help the channel grow and I would greatly appreciate it. All right, well, I guess that's it. I'll let you get back to the video. As I mentioned before, many of the higher end models from HD Fury share common features. And this can make it difficult to discern which product is right for you and suits the needs of your setup. But deciding which device you need is really not that hard. It's basically going to come down to price and if you need 8K support. With the HD Fury 4K Diva and the VERTEX 2, it's basically the same HDMI 2.0B product with a few minor differences that may or may not be worth the extra $50 difference between the two. With the Diva, you get HDR to SDR tone mapping, and you also get support for input lag testing. Now, whether or not that's worth the extra $50 is up to you. However, unless you're a hardcore gamer, I don't really see that as a useful feature that home theater enthusiasts would even care about. The VROOM, however, is a noticeable jump in HDMI standards with HDMI 2.1. While the Diva and VERTEX 2 do support up to 4K 120 and 8K, neither is full bandwidth, and you're maxed out at 4K 120 420 8-bit and 8K 30 420 8-bit on both the Diva and the VERTEX. With the VROOM, you get the full bandwidth on both 4K and 8K. You get 4K 120 444 10-bit with VRR and 8K 60 444 12-bit. You also get some other features if you peruse the spec list, but I'll let you do that on your own time. Now, if you don't need any HDMI switching, then check out the other devices, because if you just need low latency Dolby Vision, then you can probably get away with the original VERTEX. Now, as a side note, HD Fury products can come in especially handy if you own a Samsung TV, because Samsung doesn't support Dolby Vision. And it's not because the TVs aren't capable. Rather, instead of paying licensing fees to Dolby, Sobi has opted for HDR10 Plus, the direct competitor to Dolby Vision. However, the only downside to HDR10 Plus is that it maxes out at 10-bit color, whereas Dolby supports up to 12-bit. But having a device like the 4K Diva or the VROOM, you should be able to get a straight Dolby Vision signal in the form of an HDR10 Plus container instead of the lesser low latency Dolby Vision. But don't quote me on that. So which device should you get? As I said before, it's really going to come down to price and whether or not you need HDMI 2.1 support. If $50 is a make or break your bank situation for you, then just go with the VERTEX, because in most cases, you won't need the HDR to SDR conversion. I've literally never used that feature, and I don't think I ever will. However, if you want to future-proof yourself and don't need HDMI 2.1 right now, spend the extra $50 and get the 4K Diva. And if you have invested in the 8K ecosystem, maybe you have a $20,000 8K upscaling JVC projector with HDR10 Plus, or you have an 8K Samsung TV, but your receiver doesn't support 8K, then you really only have one option. You can buy the VROOM, pass the Dolby Atmos or DTS:X signal over eARC to your receiver or soundbar, and still get 8K from your TV. Alright guys, hopefully this video gives you a better idea on the differences between the Diva, the VROOM, and the VERTEX. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. That's going to bring us to query of the week. This week's query is, do you own any HD Fury products? If so, which one do you have? How are you using it? And do you plan on upgrading to the VROOM? Let me know in the comments. I'll also leave links in the description to each of the products that were discussed in this video. As always guys, no matter where you're at on your home theater journey, make sure you enjoy it. For Haterade Cowboy Cinema, I'm Haterade Cowboy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.